Hey guys, I'm back with another video. Today we'll be doing what if Goku was had Goku Black's powers. I know last video was very hectic and I didn't get to finish all that I wanted to. So this time I am just doing what I thought I should have done at that point. So let's just get into the video. I remember stopping off at him, like everyone leaving, and so that's where I'm gonna start from there. If you have a problem with that, I'm sorry, but that's how it's gonna be. Goku. Goku returned from the past, feeling the fresh breeze finally, unlike the polluted air of the past timeline. But he knew he had to go back. There was something he needed to do. He felt something wrong. So as he got everyone off of the time portal thing, he told Trunks that he needed to go back to the original timeline. The people on the water area of the entire of the Capsule Court building, the water area that was there. Goku told Trunks this, and Trunks obliged and told him how to use the time traveling machine, and Goku went back into the past. Goku reached into his pocket, the pocket of his key, fishing around for a while until he found it. A blue and purple button. He knew exactly what this blue and purple button did because, well, he was given it not recently. He pushed it, decided that he remembered Zeno told him, and then in a flash of light, Zeno, the king of everything, appeared. Goku's instinct was right. The feeling in his gut. He looked up at the sky to see many Zamasus. He didn't understand what happened. He absorbed the Zamasu's body inside of him, but then he remembered he's still alive, so that probably did something. He doesn't really know. So he told Zeno. Zeno looked around and said, "This is not good at all." And Goku says, "You're right." Zeno says, "I'm gonna have to destroy it all." And Zeno, like in canon, destroys the entire universe, leaving that place completely blank. But Goku grabbed Zeno when he was finished, and they both headed off for the time machine and then back to the future. Everyone saw the time machine as it reappeared, and that's how time works. So appeared and reappeared in a matter of seconds. But not just Goku was on the ship, or the time travel machine, or whatever you call it. There was a Zeno. Beerus and Whis were surprised, while Beerus being very nervous, bowing when he saw Zeno, and Goku explained what happened and happened to the original timeline. With everyone there hearing of it, with Trunks and them being sad that their time is completely erased. It makes them so upset for them trying to free it for so many years for just to be gone. But Goku tells them they have a new start now. With the wish that I made for Dragon Balls, y'all should have a new home in a few seconds. And as he says those words, some of the buildings start disappearing and moving off somewhere else. Goku explains to them with one of his wishes, he told Shenron they would have a new city, a new place to live, but he then tells them that they will be isolated for a while, so that's a thing. Goku tells them where they are, where it's gonna be, right nearby his home, Mount Pausa. Android. But yeah, actually Android. Android 16, or Lazu- Lazuli, which she now calls herself, because she decided to keep her real name, Lazuli, just so I could differentiate Android 19 and wait, is it Android 19? Android 18 from the past Android 18. So I don't have to call it Android past Android 18. I can just call it 18. Okay, I can just call her Lazuli. Lazuli came up behind Goku and tapped him, and was staying really close to Goku because honestly, that's the only person she's talked to in years now. But when Trunks saw her, he got on the defensive, actually being really angry of seeing her, because again, this is the one that killed Gohan and the rest. She honestly could care less about how Trunks felt about her, but it was more along the lines of Goku she really cared about. But something like this, but something will upset her and make her not another person on this planet, which would be Chi-Chi. Now, if you really like Chi-Chi or liked her character, I personally don't, but I do respect if you do. I never really had any interest. I honestly, when I first heard of it, first watched it anyways, I was on the ropes about it because I didn't feel like it was a real relationship. Chi-Chi, how I felt was like Chi-Chi was just manipulating Goku. I don't want to say that in that way because it makes it sound evil, but like she kind of tricked Goku because it's a promise that Goku made when he was 94, and she still kept him up to it. And the reason he said yes is because he still didn't understand. And then I always felt like she didn't accept Goku as a Saiyan or alien. She tried to force her children to be human when they weren't, and completely tried to force her family into pretending they were human when they really weren't, basically hiding their true selves from the world. I honestly, that's how I felt. Probably you have a different depiction of Chi-Chi, but I honestly really didn't like her entire character. I'm sorry if you have a problem with that. I will understand you, but I personally don't like Chi-Chi. I'm sorry if you felt that way. So, disclaimer, this is how this is gonna go down. Chi-Chi, from her point of view, looked at Goku with a furious expression on her face. She honestly hated when Goku left, and honestly hated when he went off to train. She knew it was something that he liked, but she felt like she should be the only thing on his mind, not some stupid training or saving the world, just her and their family. Which she was in right at some point, being the family part, but the rest was kind of controlling. But I digress. Chi-Chi looked at Goku and marched up to him. She yelled in an angry voice, "Goku," and marched up to him. She started to yell and say how he always goes off like this, and that he's never home, and all of the stuff, which is not true, because for the last few years he's been on Earth, just chilling. He has stayed on Earth the last couple of years, longer than he's ever done, and devoted his whole time to being basic of everything, which he hated, but he bared because of Chi-Chi, because that's being his wife. He bared it all because Chi-Chi's his wife, and he just wants to make her happy. Well, he still doesn't understand what wife is or wife means. He wants to make Chi-Chi happy, so he does all of these things. So after a while, Chi-Chi settles down, but starts letting up on the yells. But Goku gets aggravated more and more. But not just him, but most of the Z fighters, and especially Krillin. Keep that in your mind. So Goku starts getting more aggravated with his tail swinging behind him, almost waiting for something, but that something will never come. Goku gets more and more frustrated, and you can see that expression on his face. He kind of doesn't like how Chichi's treating him right now, and he's been getting fed up of her yelling constantly at him, even when he's doing nothing. Like, he just wants to rest, and she keeps complaining. He won't say he loves her, but he definitely doesn't feel the way he used to about her. The only thing good about her, and it's sad to say, is her cooking, and after that, there's nothing in his heart for her. He just sees her as any normal friend after that point. Goku gets frustrated and yells, and just not yelling as in he's powering up yelling. He just yells in like aggravation and starts telling Chichi off. He tells her that ever since we got married or whatever, you've always been like this. Every time I do something, it's Goku this or Goku that. Honestly. And we had a discussion before. I am not quitting training. I'm not giving up what I love. Even before I knew you, I am not doing that. All I wanted to do was get stronger, and I decided to settle down with you. I created two beautiful children, but that was enough for you. You needed all of me to yourself. I understand that as a friend, but after that, you can't just keep me to yourself and expect me to be okay with it. You can't expect me to just roll over at your every whim, okay? And Chi-Chi says that's what a husband should do. He should provide for his family, stay home, teach his children, spend time with his children. And Goku gets frustrated again, saying that he always wanted to spend time with Gohan and Goten, but you would never let me. Every time I've always wanted to, but you says training is not bonding. It's just you training, which wasn't true. It was training for him. The way he wanted to bond with them was by training, so they could be like him and have. He doesn't want them to be exactly like him, but he just wants them to be kind of like him. You understand? And she says she doesn't understand, and she doesn't want to. She just wants Goku to be more attentive to his family. And this is where Krillin steps in. Krillin, being silent for most of Goku's relationship, finally decides that he should step in at this point. Krillin began to say that, honestly, Chi-Chi, none of us like you. Not any of us. Not Bulma, not anyone. Ever since Goku been with you, he's been sadder. He's never been the same. He has this melancholy look on him. It doesn't fit Goku. And you're trying to force him to do something he doesn't want to do. You know how much money Goku could be making now if you just let him do what he wanted? You know what he told me a few before the Cell Games? That he wanted to go into the world tournament and become the champion again, but you wouldn't let him. He could be filthy rich, paying off everything, but you wouldn't let him because you think it's not an honorable job. It is an honorable job. It's a job that he would want. Everything doesn't evolve around you and what you want, Chi-Chi. Sometimes Goku has his own ambitions besides you. And Chi-Chi steps back. She starts to understand certain things that they're saying, but then the voice in her head saying that they're all just being stupid. Well, they're Goku's friends anyway, so they're obviously stupid. And she starts going off, and Goku says, I'm done with this. I can't deal with this anymore. And Goku flies off. But even before he could get go to fly off, he drops to the ground, clutching his heart until he fades away into a deep sleep. Now, again, I am sorry if you like Goku and Chi-Chi together. I understand if you're angry at it. You can just click off of the video if you really didn't like it, because I normally do that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really like Goku and Chi-Chi, so every time I do see it, and I don't know what if or anything, I just click off, so I wouldn't be that mad if you clicked off of the video. Okay, so let's get into it. Goku was laying down on mucky black water. He slowly sat up, looking around until he found someone, or a child, that looked kinda like him but had Saiyan armor. Goku ran to him to see if he was okay, because it looked like if he was crying. Goku got there, leaned down and says, "Are you okay? Okay, kid?" The kid looked around and saw him. The kid, at that exact moment, had an angered look on his face. Like, an angered look and a disgusted look, all in the same one, pointed directly to Goku. Goku looked at him a bit closer and realized who this was. This was him. But why was he looking at him like that? Until the kid, or Kid Goku, looked at present Goku and snarled, You monster." Goku rolled back in shock. Why would he call him a monster? That's him. And he just kept calling him a monster. "You're the one who killed my brother. You're the one who hurt me." And Goku didn't understand. You didn't hurt him. It was himself. How could he hurt himself? He said, "You bumped my head and made me forget everything. It was you. You stole my life from me. You monster. You killed my brother and let that arrogant prince stay alive. You knew the things they did to him and you still let him live. You're a monster." Goku stepped back, understanding the things that this Goku was telling him. He let Vegeta live, gave Vegeta a second chance, but his own brother, he let him die, and let him stay dead. This was picking off at him for a while, for a good while too. Goku looked at this person in front of him and says, "I didn't mean." And then Kid Goku, or Kakarot, said, "I don't want to hear it. You're a murderer, a villain. You're pure evil." And this is when a person out of the shadows stepped behind Kakarot. He had white hair spiked up and a smirk on his face. He wore black, gray, white clothing with a red tint on the edge of the clothes, with a halo-like design at the back on his back, just floating there. This was the Merge Zamasu. Says, "Oh look. Oh look. Looks like you're a monster than you. You're more monster than me. You killed your own brother. It's even worse than killing thousands of mortals. You don't understand," Goku said. "He was gonna destroy the Earth. So was Vegeta. Matter of fact, didn't he actually try to do it? Your brother didn't. He just fought you and that Namekian guy." Goku steps back again, understanding the words penetrating his heart even more. But the Kid Goku, or Kakarot, really didn't care what Zamasu had to say. He just wanted this monster's death. Zamasu put his hand on Kakarot's head, looking at him, saying that, "Calm down, little one. You'll get your chance." Zamasu stepped forward, pacing around Goku, saying, "Oh look, he's not as much as a pure hero I thought you were. I thought that you did no wrong, Goku. You killed no one for any unjust reasons, but you let so many people live. Oh, didn't you let Frieza live too? Isn't that interesting?" Goku looked down, saying that Really, with the realization coming to his head, he was willing to let Frieza go, wasn't willing to bring back his own brother. That really was bad, and he understood why this version of him really hated him. But he was willing to let Vegeta, the person who actually just wanted to destroy the Earth, live, and was willing to let Frieza live when he killed him. When on Namek, Goku looked down, a tear coming out of his eye, realizing how wrong he was, and never really gave his brothers a second chance. Gave everyone a second chance, even Raditz. He does remember that, but he should have tried more to get true to his own brother. Raditz saw him as his brother, but he didn't, and that was kind of his fault. He denied him ever being a Saiyan, never fully accepting that fact, and he still doesn't. He knows he's a Saiyan and knows all those little things, but Saiyans can change. People can change. He always knew that. He clutched his hand and accepted the fact that he was a monster, just like this kid Goku said. But someone appeared in the light. When in Goku's darkest moments, a light shone. It was an old man with a fox mask on the side of his face, looking down at Goku, saying, "Goku, look up." Goku recognized the voice. How couldn't he? It was the person who raised him. He looked up to see Grandpa Gohan, looking at him with a tear in his eye. Always been a pure soul, Goku. Yes, your brother wasn't the kindest of people, and you could have handled it a plethora of ways, but you tried your best. But you have a second chance. A second chance at redemption. I can't tell you that I was happy when I heard you got married to Chi-Chi. At first, yes, I was happy, but as I watched you looking down, I saw she was trying to change you, and I guess I never wanted you to change. I always accept you for your work. Even if you were meant to come down on this earth and destroy everything, I would have tried my best to shape you into the person that you are now, but not make you fully change. I wanted you always to be who you were, who you always wanted to be. But you fell down at some point, and I guess that's my fault too. Grandpa Gohan looked at Goku and says, "When you get out of here, go and see your brother again," tapping Goku on his chest. And as he did that, a ripple went out through the mindscape. The ripple spread to every corner, and Marzimasu screamed, "No! What is this?" He stepped back in fear. He started to disappear. And he didn't understand what was happening. Why is this happening to him? No. This can't be. And he faded away in the dark. Into dust. Pink dust. Illuminating the sky, turning the sky pink with white clouds everywhere. The water had cleared up to a sparkling blue color. The only person that was left there was Goku and Kakarot, looking at each other, with Goku still with that anger-filled eyes. Goku didn't hesitate. He stepped forward. He grabbed Kakarot in a hug. Kakarot struggling, punching, doing everything he could to get Goku off of him. But Goku didn't let up. He hugged him until Kakarot faded away into him. On the outside world, a few minutes has passed, and Goku's still on the floor, writhing in agony. Anytime people would try to get near him, a pulse of ki just pushed them back. He decided to let this play out, and if Goku ever died, rush him back with the Dragon Balls. Until a bright light shone. Goku's body started to levitate, and the light got brighter until they couldn't see anymore. But when it cleared up, they saw Goku, but he was different. In a way, he basically still looked as the same old Goku, not really changing that much in facial features, but he definitely did change. Goku's gi, in particular, a clothes that he was wearing, an accessory he had on, and the accessories he did have on, definitely changed. Goku's gi turned black, but it was more loose fitting. It was hard for me to explain, but the Goku's gi came down, which should expose his bare chest, but under that was a skin-tight sleeveless shirt, but it was a bright orange color. It was also a silver, kind of a choker thing on Goku's neck. Think about Barris's golden neck choker thing, but imagine that but silver on Goku's neck. It also had the infinity sign on it, blazing in a bright pink color. Goku had on hand warmers. Thinking about how OG Sasuke or OG Naruto Sasuke had those armor, those things on his hands, but what was white on Sasuke's one was black, and what was blue was orange. So that's what was basically on Goku's arm, on both of his arms. His gi pants was black, and his shoes stayed the same, but having more pronounced orange on them and being more black than actually just blue. It's black and orange colored theme. And his belt that was tied around his waist was now orange, and his hair was a little more spiked up, but it wasn't fully Super Saiyan, but it was noticeably spiked. Goku breathed in a fresh air, fully accepting himself as Kakarot and both Goku. He still couldn't remember anything from his past, because with that powerful knowledge of seeing him, he knew that he came here not as a baby, but as a toddler of sorts. So he does have memories, but he guess he'll unlock them over time. Goku looked around and smiled and says, "I think I'm more powerful." Goku said this in a confused way, and Goku's voice also sounded a little bit deeper. It wasn't just the fun-loving Goku, although that was present. It had a deeper, almost sinister tone to it, but it wasn't exactly that. Goku looked at Vegeta and says, "I have something to do," and asked Bulma for the radar, but as Bulma was going to go for it, something landed. It was Raditz, but he was gray, and his hair and his armor looked different. Yes, his hair was black like normal, but it was also weirdish, because it had this gray pronounced to it, but it was still black. It's really weird to explain. But his armor was completely gray and red, with him basically looking at the same age as he died. Goku looked around and saw him kind of tearing up, rushing towards it to hug his brother, but the brother just tried to punch him, but Goku caught it. But as he caught it, he noticed the differences. Realized this wasn't Raditz. His ki was similar but also corrupted. This was a clone. He punched him right in the head, killing that clone Raditz. Because honestly, what could compare to Goku? Honestly, let's be honest here. Until many more of Goku's past villains started to appear, like Frieza, the original King Piccolo, and multiple other characters that either Goku killed or just defeated, in honesty. And Z Fighters defeated each of them with minimal effort, because again, they're clones and they're not as strong as their original counterparts, just to be honest. Until both Raditz and Vegeta, no, not Raditz and Vegeta, Nappa and Vegeta, are clones of them from the Saiyan saga, appeared. Them throwing up a Blitz wave, with Goku actually having to run away, because if he looked at that, he would turn into an ape, and even he knew that. So he couldn't be there right now, because even though he got back his memories, well, not his memories, but he's at home with himself now, he kinda doesn't have control of his ape form. And he does realize something that he looked over when he was a kid. Instead of trying to master his Ozaru form, he just got rid of it. Although it was a good increase in power, it kind of made him feel a little bit stupid, because he always wanted to get stronger, and he just threw away a transformation like that. He kind of beats himself up for that one, but he digresses. Until he feels a key signature that was different but weird. It felt like everyone, but no one at the same time. He teleported to that key signature until he heard a moan. Android 21. Moments prior. Iron 21's tail was rubbing something. The something in question was oozing a liquid. The tail was going up and down, and then inside this thing, going all the way up and then coming out. We heard another moan from her, with saying someone's name. Goku. Goku, she said, looking at a picture of Goku. Well, when he was a little younger, but Goku the same. She looked at this. Of her two hands pressed against her cheeks, with hearts in her eyes, just looking at this Goku. Android 18 awakened not too long ago, actually. A few months ago, to be more precise, because of the fight between Beerus and Goku. It shook the world, awakening Android 21 from her slumber because of Beerus's and the tremors around the world, making a rock fall and opening her pod. She started to rebuild everything, and for some reason rebuilt 16, but she didn't understand that either. And by the way, in this universe, 16 is actually just it's basically just a reincarnation of Android 16's sister, or Jiro's daughter. I'm not making Jiro's wife, because let's be honest here, if Jiro's wife is that bad, I don't know what's wrong with the universe anymore. Let's be honest, Jiro's ugly. I'm not even gonna front on it. He is just very ugly, and I won't accept less, okay? But in saying that, she felt someone come in, with another moan escaping her mouth, but as she felt the key, she instantly climaxed with the liquid spilling all over the controls of her computer, with her swaying her head side to side. Knowing who this was, I was very excited to feel him, and probably be with him. Android 16's goal now is not really to get more powerful. Yes, it is that, but her goal in particular right now is just to kind of be the only one Goku cares about. Well, she's open to open relationships, but how things are going right now, no, she doesn't feel like any girl on this planet is good enough for her Goku. And rightly so, because Chi-Chi ain't shit. I'm sorry. I know that was really disrespectful, but honestly, I really don't like Chi-Chi. But again, I digress. She's turned in her chair. We see Android 18 on her full display. Android 18 was topless, and there was a tear in the middle of her pants, which exploded her still oozing pussy, with her tail still rubbing against it, but not as furiously as it was before. She saw Goku and decided to fix herself, and instantly used ki to tear her pants and her top, then using one of Piccolo's techniques to instantaneously remake her clothes. She stood up and skipped towards Goku, getting right in his face. He said, "Oh Goku, how long I waited. All those years just watching you fight and fight. Oh, I waited for this day to meet you." Goku stepped back in a bit of shock and kinda arousal, because with getting Zamasu's basically potential and powers, not his particularly memories, but potential and powers, he and also meant his capacity of learning. So he more open to thoughts and other things that you've heard and understands them more. So basic knowledge and common sense, he has that now, and he's a little more serious. So he's more like Z Goku than Super Goku, because there's a distinct difference between both of them. One is actually smarter, which is the Z Goku. He's more serious. Not smarter, I wouldn't say that, but like, he's more serious. But yeah, Goku basically says, "I came here for a fight, so why did you make a clone of my brother?" It's a lot of... And Android 21 put her face in a pout, but answered all the same, and says, "I didn't make a clone of your brother. Jiro had many clones of the Z Fighters and the Z Fighters' opponents over the years. Actually, to be more specific, he even has a child of Raditz. Well, technically not. He just merged a human and Raditz DNA together to make a new life form. He did it to when he decided to fight you, to bring out this creation to fight you, so you could despair knowing that you had to fight your own brother's kid, being your niece. But as he saw that you killed Raditz, he scratched away the idea, because he thinks that you don't really care that much about Raditz." Goku scoffed and says, "I do care about my brother. Back then, I kinda didn't," which Goku kind of looks down at. "But now, I'm gonna have a second chance with him. I'll be the brother that I should have been." Android 21 cooed at that and says, "No matter." And she says, "I'll oblige you, Goku. Let's fight." Android 18 threw a punch, trying to get one on Goku. Goku, still being in his base form, caught the punch and disposed of her. Not disposed, but kind of just drew her away at one. Just drew her hand away. She come back with another kicks and punches, Goku noting that she is actually strong, until Android 21 backs up and starts to power up. Then Goku realized she skipped all of that to Majin Buu's power level, or Kid Buu's power level, and just wait to Goku again. Goku actually had to go into Super Saiyan, but as he got into Super Saiyan, he felt way different. His Super Saiyan was way stronger than it used to be. This is just Super Saiyan 1. And I have to make this distinction. Super Saiyan 1 has paler hair than Super Saiyan 2. Goku's hair in Super Saiyan 2 is actually golden. With him in Super Saiyan is a pale blonde color with blue eyes. I want to make that distinction because I've always thought of Super Saiyan as a pale blonde color instead of just being gold, and Super Saiyan 2 being gold with lightning. Okay, understand where I'm coming from? Yeah. So Goku started to fight with her until he got more used to his Super Saiyan. It almost felt like he was in Super Saiyan 2, and he wondered what would happen if he went into Super Saiyan 2. Would he feel like it's 3? So he did that, and he went into Super Saiyan 2, and it felt like he had the same power level of him in his Super Saiyan 3 state, which is immensely more powerful. So he starts fighting with Android 21 even more, easily parrying her until Android 18 realized that she really needed to step up her game. But she had the thing for this. She backed until she reached a button on her computer, with her computer still being soaked with juices, but she ignored that and pressed a button, and a case came out. This was but Cell, a version of Cell actually, being that she basically went back in the... Okay, so I need to explain this, okay? You see the larva that Trunks and them just basically destroyed it? Let's say they did get destroyed, and she ended up finding it and feeding her ki to it. It became a perfect cell, and she nurtured that cell to be just as strong, okay? This what I'm doing with this. I honestly didn't know how to bring back Cell, so deal with it. She shot a beam at Cell and turned it into a green donut. And she went over and ate the donut, with herself getting polka dots on her skin and her just jumping up, loosening her body, and she got immensely more powerful, and she rushed towards Goku. Goku realized she was pushing him a little bit more, and till the point where he had to go Super Saiyan 3. Yes, she was at the same level as him as Super Saiyan 2, but he wanted to get this 3 done because he saw so much potential in her. He went to Super Saiyan 3 and decked her into the gut, and she was knocked out. Let's be honest here. Without Goku bodies suppressed, he would notice Android 21. The only reason that he couldn't in Xenoverse was basically because of the whole control thing. He couldn't beat him. He couldn't beat her because of the whole that whole thing. So Goku looked at Android 21 while she was on the ground and smirked. But this is where the rest of the two fighters ended up coming and confronting Goku, asking if she was, and Goku says she was another android. And he picked her up battle style, and Android, or Lazuli, went up to Goku and hugged his arm and says, "I'm going wherever you're going." And Goku smiled. He realized he needed a place to go because he really didn't feel like staying with Gigi right now, and he flew off back to Mount Pause. But this is where I'm gonna leave off this video, and I hope you had a good day. I hope you like my new decision how I'm gonna go with my channel. This form of this actually will be on my new channel, on my regular channel, very soon. I will be posting very soon. I don't know what to post. I guess I'm gonna do Demon Ninja Big. That's for this channel. Just so you know, guys, Devil Ninja is for this channel, and that's how I wanted it. I only made that post for that. But like, I feel I'm gonna do an Alpha What If. I feel like that, but I don't know. But that's it. If you guys had a good day, enjoyed the video, liked and subscribed. Okay, don't mind me. I never tell you like to subscribe. But you know the gist. Just comment for me. It makes my day that much better. If you've been on my channel for a while, on my original, you know I never ask you for likes, and I don't. So I just want you to leave a comment to make my day just that much better. I like talking to people. If you didn't understand that, like I literally talk to a screen for like an hour or so, or for 40 minutes. I like talking, okay? But that's it, guys. Thank you for all of it.